How are you today, grade 10 learners? This video lesson is intended for you to better understand concepts on measures of position, especially group data. So, equip yourself with your pen, paper, calculator, and self-learning module. This is Teacher Marieta, your guide in your module 34 for weeks 3 to 4.
After going through this video lesson, you are expected to be able to demonstrate understanding of key concepts on measures of position. Specifically, you should be able to, number 1, calculate a specified measure of position, which are quartile, decile, and percentile for group data. Number 2, interpret measures of position. And number 3, solve problems involving measures of position for group data.
Now, let's test your readiness about the topic that we will be discussing in this video lesson. Since reading and solving is fun, find your comfortable position so you can start answering the pre-assessment. Don't forget to write your answer on your paper.
What is the total frequency? A. 13, B. 15, C. 30, D. 60. The correct answer is D. Number 2, what is the size of the class interval? A. 3, B. 4, C. 5, D. 6. The correct answer is letter C. Number 3. What is the lower class boundary of the third quartile? A. 20.5, B. 25.5, C. 30.5, and letter D. 35.5. The correct answer is B. Number 4. Which of the following is the fourth decile class? A. 1 to 5, B. 6 to 10, C. 11 to 15, and D. 16 to 20. The correct answer is D. Number 5. What is less than cumulative frequency of the first quartile? A. 3, B. 7, C. 17, D. 32. The correct answer is letter A. Number 6. What is quartile 1? A. 14.5, B. 16.5, C. 17.5, and D. 18.5. The correct answer is letter A. Number 7. What does it mean if second quartile is 19.83? A. 50% of the students were able to recall 20 heroes. B. 19 students were able to recall 50% of the heroes. Letter C. 50% of the students were able to recall more than 20 heroes. And letter D. 50% of the students were able to recall less than or equal to 20 heroes. The answer is letter D. Number 8. What is percentile 65? A. 22, B. 22.5, C. 23.19, letter D. 23.21. The correct answer is letter C. Number 9. What does it mean if the 75th percentile is 22.5? A. 75% of the students were able to recall 26 heroes. Letter B. 75% of the students were able to recall more than 26 heroes. C. 75% of the students were able to recall less than or equal to 26 heroes. And letter D, none of the above. The correct answer is letter C. For the remaining items, 10 to 15, pause the video and continue answering the given problem.
In the preceding module, you have learned measures of position for ungrouped data, which is actually a prerequisite of the next lesson. So, let's answer the activity together for you to grasp the concept of the new lesson.
In Activity 1, a group of students is curious on how many will react to their cover photo after uploading. So, they change their Facebook cover photo simultaneously. After exactly 5 minutes, they recorded the number of reactions. Listed below are the number of reactions each student received. Based from the set of data above on the number of reactions received by each student, determine the following: first quartile, 6th decile, and 30th percentile. Let us try to present the solution in finding first quartile. So we have the following steps. Arrange the number of reactions in ascending order. That could be the arrangement. Secondly, locate the position of the number of reactions received by each student. So, we have the position of the first quartile is equal to 1/4 multiplied to the sum of n plus 1. That is 1/4 multiplied to the sum of 30 and 1. We have 1/4 of 31. Position of the first quartile is 7.75. Since the result is a decimal number, interpolation is needed. We apply steps of linear interpolation. Step 1. Subtract the 7th data from the 8th data. So we have 21 minus 20 is equal to 1. For step 2, multiply the result by the decimal part obtained in solution B. So we have 1 times 0.75 is equal to 0.75. And step 3, add the result in step 2 to the 7th data. Remember, the 7th data is 20. Adding 0.75, the result is 20.75, which is similar to 21. Therefore, the value of the first quartile is equal to 21. Since we have recalled the process on how to calculate measure of position for ungrouped data, you may pause the video as you continue answering the remaining two problems. Here are the answers. You may compare on your answer. So, the correct answer will be flash on your screen. I hope you have answered it correctly.
Were you able to capture the important details in the activity? Did you find it easy or difficult? Probably yes. You have a hard time answering it because of the many values in the ungrouped data. In this video lesson, we will be learning the three measures of position, which are quartile, decile, and percentile.
Considering the previous data on the number of reactions received by the students on their Facebook cover photo, let us make a frequency distribution table out of the dataset. I have presented the completed frequency distribution table, hence, here's how to calculate first quartile. We follow the given steps. Step 1, location of the first quartile class. That is determined by n over 4. Since n is equal to 30, we divide it by 4, so the location of the first quartile class is at the 7.5 data. Thus, we need to find the class interval where the 7.5 data is contained using the less than cumulative frequency column. However, from the frequency distribution table, let us try to identify the given that will be used in our substitution using the formula. Since 12 is the location of the first quartile class, we can identify now the following symbols such as I is equal to 7, N is equal to 30, 6 is equal to the less than cumulative frequency, 18.5 will be the lower boundary, and 6 is the frequency of the quartile class. After identifying the given, we are ready to substitute it with the formula. So by substitution, we have the following. And by simplification, we can come up with the value of the first quartile as 20.5. Therefore, if we are going to interpret 25% of the group of students have less than or equal to 20.5 reactions. You can pause this video for you to go over the other examples in calculating second quartile, which is the median, and the upper quartile, which is the third quartile. The formula to solve the kth decile is presented as follows, wherein LB stands for the lower boundary of the decile class, N again is the total frequency, CFB means cumulative frequency of the class before the decile class, FDK stands for the frequency of the decile class, I still the size of the class interval, K is equal to nth decile, wherein N is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Another illustrative example is on calculating sixth decile. Here are the following steps. Locate sixth decile class, that is 6n over 10. By substitution, 6 multiplied to 30 over 10, the quotient is 18. Thus, we need to find the class interval where the 18th data is contained using the less than cumulative frequency column. From this frequency distribution table, we need to identify the given which are needed in the formula, such as location of the sixth decile, the class interval, the total frequency, the less than cumulative frequency, the lower class boundary, the frequency of the decile class. After identifying the given values, we are ready to substitute the given values on the formula. By substitution, we have the following. And by simplification, we have the sixth decile as 30.17. What does this mean? Therefore, 60% of the group of students have less than or equal to 30.17 reactions. Let's proceed to percentile for group data. As you have read on your previous module, percentile divides the distribution into 100 equal parts. Now, to find the percentiles, we first need to determine the percentile classes. This presentation illustrates how to calculate the 30th percentile. Now, the steps are as follows. We try to locate the 30th percentile class. That is 30n over 100. By substitution, we have 30 multiplied to 30 divided by 100. The result is 9. Thus, we need to find the class interval where the ninth data is contained using the less than cumulative frequency column. Before we can solve the 30th percentile, let us identify the given values such as location of the 30th percentile, the class interval, the total frequency, the less than cumulative frequency, the lower class boundary, the frequency of the percentile class. Since you have identified all the given values, you are ready to substitute it on the percentile formula. So by substitution, we have the following. And by simplification, the 30th percentile is equal to 22. What does this mean? 30% of the group of students have less than or equal to 22 reactions.
Illustrative examples given to you enhances your knowledge and computational skills in calculating specified measure of position. Now, are you excited to enhance your computational skills? Let's refer on pages 21 of your self-learning module. Under Activity 3, you may choose only one problem to solve.
Let's check your understanding of the lesson. In case you do not know what to do, just go over the discussions in this video lesson. Below is the dataset on the number of push-ups a group of students can do on the first day of the push-up challenge. Those are the number of push-ups of the group of students. Now, we calculate the following. A. Second quartile, B. Decile 6, and percentile 95. Do not forget to make a conclusion for each result. You may pause this video and continue answering the example to master the skills in solving measures of position.
The key concepts that you should remember on this lesson are the following formula regarding measures of position for group data. Here are the activities for you to see how measures of position is used in our world. Do Activity 4 on page 23, which will serve as your performance task. Don't forget to read the scoring rubric that will be used in assessing your output. Let's determine how much you have learned from this video lesson by answering the post-assessment. Read each item carefully and write your correct answer on your paper. I hope you have a clearer understanding on measures of position for group data after viewing this video lesson. Thank you very much for watching.